Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Seabrook.
Nice.
Seabrook
Well,
High.
obviously it's Seabrook High.
She's like, I'm going to win because I put high at the end.
Can I get a point and he gets half a point?
Okay.
Oh,
absolutely
wow.
not.
It's the day-to-day life. Wanna know what it's like?
Mom.
Just an average family with a few million likes. We're a husband, a wife, and a kid in the limelight.
Mom.
25/7 just to F and get by.
Mom.
It's a house full of love. No, we can't let it fade. So let's add a podcast just to make it insane. It's that MOMager life.
Mom.
We take it day by day.
Mom.
What do you want? I'm trying to sing a theme song.
Oh my gosh, I love it when they haven't seen it. It's
I can't
I
believe
love
we
that they
kept you from seeing that. That's incredible.
No, that's incredible.
I said Felicia ate down the
Oh,
vocals.
thanks.
Come
Oh my God. I
on.
love that. That's
Nice.
perfect. From
I said
beginning to
yes.
end.
Thanks. I mean, it's real life for us.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
no, that's the
100%.
feeling.
that is real life.
That's the feeling. Yeah, no.
That's what
So
it's like
many
around the
stories.
house.
Oh my gosh.
My dad's always chopping the trees. My mom's
Yeah,
cooking.
100%.
You're always just somewhere yelling, Mom.
Always somewhere yelling mom.
I mean, the mom is the most real part of the whole thing.
Promise I'm not that
Okay,
crazy.
well, what's up, everybody? I'm Felicia,
I'm Malachi.
I'm Lauren.
and you are listening to MOMager, a Barton fan podcast where we take you guys behind the scenes of Hollywood family life.
All right. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to our amazing guests. We have the amazingly talented Chandler Kinney
Yay!
and then her amazing mom, Taryn Kinney.
Woo!
Let's give it up.
Yes.
I'm so happy you guys.
There's your applause.
We got applause tracks, just like Disney. We don't get real laughs. We have a laugh track.
We have a laugh track for
Now,
that. We
sometimes
love
if
it.
you have like a
Live studio audience.
a live studio audience,
That's
yeah.
rare now.
Yeah, there are some.
I'm so
shows
happy to have
still.
you guys here.
I'm
so
happy to be
hang out and
here.
We
chill
love
for a
you
little bit.
guys, and
Yes.
we're always happy to kind of dive into our journey. You know, I think we've had so many of these conversations off camera, and so
Yeah.
it's nice to
True.
just like have this conversation naturally and like talk about our experiences, because I think we've had parallel journeys, and
Totally.
we're excited to chat. Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. So you guys, the listeners, viewers may know Chandler from the best Disney Channel franchise ever.
That's right.
Disney Zombies, where
You're not biased.
No,
not biased at all. Definitely not biased.
Catch Zombies 4 coming soon.
Z4 Dawn of the Vampires. Go check it out. It's gonna be good. And Vampire is cool.
Yeah, I heard vampires are really cool in this movie. They're sick.
swaggy. But
That
we're
lead
gonna,
vampire is crazy.
we're gonna talk more about that
Yeah.
a lot. But most
We have a lot
recently,
to talk about,
we have a ton to touch, a ton to touch
Yeah.
on. But you were recently a finalist on Dancing with the Stars.
which we also have lots of that.
Lots to
conversation
talk about.
Yeah.
But you guys may also know her from her role in Pretty Little Liars, where she played Tabby, she's kind of a horror movie horror buff, is she?
She is.
Are you the same way in real life?
I grew to be. Going into the series, I had not really watched much horror ever, because I'm a scaredy cat. But I do my due diligence.
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I knew what I was talking about, so I started studying, and that was watching a lot of horror movies. Which
What was
actually,
she afraid of?
yeah,
As a kid, like anything.
failure.
Okay, we're just gonna
Disappointment.
just dive on it.
Disappointment.
Let's just dive on it.
And this is why we love you, Chandler.
Yes. No, really not much physical. She
Yeah.
hated getting in trouble. Like
Yeah.
even just anything if she did something wrong. But afraid.
I was a goody two shoes.
You were a goody two shoes. I'm not.
Like I was afraid of I went and saw Scream when I was a kid. I wanted to see it so bad. Like the first one came out, I was in high school, and I remember my dad did not want me to go see that movie at all. He's like, "No, you're not going to go see this movie." And I was like, "Dad, everybody's going to see this movie. Like we have to go see this movie." And he's like, "I swear you do not want to see it." But he took me to, he's like, "Fine, if you want to see it, I'm going to take you to see it." So he took me to see it, and I could not sleep for weeks.
Yeah.
I couldn't sleep, but he is a huge horror.
I love
He
them.
loves it.
No, I don't.
I've always
Huh.
loved them. I mean,
She
specifically.
didn't like them either, though.
No, I went one time. My cousins talked me into going one time.
It's a great
And
story.
I think it was Freddy Krueger. I do not know.
Okay.
My name is Taryn. It's
Right.
an unusual name. The first person killed in the movie
No
was
way.
named Taryn.
Stop it.
No
And I
way.
got
Really?
up and walked right out.
You did not.
I was like,
She
not
did not
saying.
finish
Wait,
the
are we
What are the
gonna
odds
figure
of that?
out what movie that is? That's
What movie-
crazy.
It was. I don't know. I didn't stay long enough to.
Do you remember what the character like looked like?
I think it was. Who has the? Is that Freddy
Yeah,
Krueger?
with the,
I
Yeah.
think it was
the
that one.
gloves.
She's the first one to die. And like, first of all, the whole time I was thinking, are they saying Taryn? Taryn? Because I just really
Really?
didn't see my name.
Oh, I would have gotten
And
it.
then
That's a
I
little too
think
close
they
to home.
wrote
Bye.
it or something, and it was Taryn, and then boom, dead. I
That's
was
crazy.
like,
Yeah,
I'm
here it
outta
is.
here.
Freddy Krueger kills Taryn by impaling her with needles and injecting her with a strange blue substance. This unfortunate event took place despite Taryn's resilience and ability to hold her own against Freddy.
Right? What the heck? What year
Goodbye.
was that?
Wow.
Does it say? Does it say
Wait,
what
does
year?
it-
come out?
Does
What
it say
year?
what year it was?
Let me see if I can find it.
That is insane.
Oh, Taryn, you fought
That was
so
my-
hard.
You tried your best,
I
and
would
that's
not
all
have
that
died.
matters.
Have you seen
I
that
would not have
commercial, the
died.
horror movie commercial, where they're like, why in every horror movie do they run into like a garage full of chainsaws?
Oh my
And
gosh,
then
it's so funny.
It's like the
It's so funny.
most bizarre.
Also, like when
First
you
of
hear
all-
a sound in the basement and or attic,
Why do you go look for?
why do you investigate?
Why?
I am not that curious.
No.
I'm like,
I'm
no.
not going
Peace
into a
out.
haunted empty house. I'm not.
No.
No.
Also,
I am-
how come when if they like hit their head on something or like they hit something, they fall to the ground? If I'm getting chased by something that's trying to kill me,
Yeah.
I'm getting up and
You're
sprinting.
getting up.
They're like, oh no, I'm gonna die, and they like
All
awkwardly
loud.
crawl.
But I feel
and
like, okay, I feel like the three of us
You know what
would
I
run
mean?
into a haunted house, but I feel like you would run into a haunted house in a second.
I
You'd be
would.
like, here I go.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, someone's got to stand outside and call 911.
Yeah,
That'll
we'll be
me.
outside.
What would be the signal? What would be the signal?
Here it was. It was
I don't know.
91.
Caw-caw.
Freddy's
That's
dead. The
91.
final nightmare. That's the one.
91. That was my
1991.
one
Alright, so
and
I'm-
only time
So
I
we're
went
watching
in.
this after.
That is amazing. I'll
Movie
be
night
gone.
at the Bartons.
Movie night at the MOMager studio.
That's
We
hilarious.
do actually have to do that now.
Absolutely.
Bartons.
100%.
We'll
So
do it.
when
That's funny.
Pretty Little Liars though premiered, we were all in New Zealand together
Yeah.
for this last season when it premiered, and you guys had I had already left. You were there at that time, but you guys surprised. Well, you guys, the cast surprised you with a premiere party,
screening.
and it was
Yeah.
so cute.
I remember
It
that.
was so.
Wait, this is a video. Let's watch this video because it's
There it is.
so cute. I love this moment so much. Red carpet, paparazzi.
I had no idea that this was happening. Otherwise,
Were
I
you off
would've-
like 2 hours of sleep too?
Yeah. So that was always.
Every day on set.
Yeah, no, that was such a long day on set, Malachi. I'm sure you remember. It was all of us in that day. We were filming. Oh, I can't say what we were filming. Aw, you guys made me feel so special. It was such a long day. And I had heard rumblings on set that you guys wanted to do something. I had no idea what it was.
Yeah.
And then you guys wrapped. And then it was me, Meg, Milo, and Kylie still on set. And we were there till like 10:30. This was
You were
probably
there
like
so late.
11:30
Meg.
p.m.
There's
It was
Taryn.
late.
There's
And we were
Milo.
cooking.
It was late, and you guys still did it. This was your apartment. You decked it out. You put up the lights. You had a cake and cupcakes, and like you had
I
a
love
game
that
night
Milo
planned. It
had
was so
the headphones
sweet.
on, like he was like calling,
Yes.
Chandler on
In
the
the
move.
hallway, he was insane. He was just like the publicist Chandler's
It was
on the
so
move.
fun.
You're
And
right.
Yeah,
Malachi,
you're
you're
my
my assistant,
so-
right?
I was his assistant,
Yeah.
and like I came down with like
Like your
water bottles
handler
and
or
gum.
something?
You were like, "Do you need gum?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine." You're like, "All right." I was like, "Wait, what's happening?"
Why do I
was
need
like,
gum?
Wait, what is happening? And then I walked into the apartment, and it was a full red carpet.
So funny.
It was so fun.
No, that was truly one of the most like.
And
I
then we
kind of
were
got a
up
little
until, like-
emotional watching it because
Aw.
seriously, like that was such a special moment. You guys made me feel so loved at a time where I was so like desperate to get back and like be there with the people that like
Yeah,
I
your
made the thing with,
Pretty
and
Little
like
Liars
it's-
fam.
yeah, and
100%.
so it's like that's such a special process, and I just
Yeah.
wanted to be there with them, and so and to be on the other side of the world,
Yeah.
literally, like I just felt so distant, and you guys wrapped me in love, and you like made it such a beautiful night for me, and I remember like we talked about it later, and I was like, just to have moments of celebration
Yeah.
and like recognition of
Mhm.
the work that you've done is so important.
Yep.
Otherwise, and I think in this industry, like you're moving so fast sometimes that you forget to like slow down and
Yeah.
appreciate the work that you've done and appreciate the community that you've built. And so
Totally.
you guys made that for me, and it was so special.
Lauren was sending me videos the whole time. I was like so
Yeah.
sad I missed that, but I was so glad that they did that for you guys because
Yeah.
it's true. Like you really do build these families, you know, while you're away shooting something with your cast. I know you and Malachi have talked about this a lot too.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, you work really, really hard and you're like super duper close with some people for a specific amount of time. And it is tough to like miss out on that celebration.
Totally.
I think Moms, we also like tried during COVID, he Under Wraps premiered. And they didn't have a premiere party for it or anything like that. So we had all of his friends over and it was, you know, during Halloween and we had a big blow up movie screen in the backyard and like put bales of hay everywhere. And like everyone just sat around and watched the movie because you want to celebrate that with your kids.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so important. It's so important. They
100%.
work so hard and they're keeping their head down and running so hard towards that goal that if you don't stop, it's like you mentioned, that you can just miss some of the big moments.
Totally.
You know?
And all I remember from that day is all the momagers and dadagers were running around like while y'all were on set shooting that day. We were like radioing each other. Did you get did you get the streamers? Did you get the cupcakes with her picture on it and all this? Like literally everybody worked together to pull that off.
It was amazing.
And I think it's because everybody sincerely loved you and saw what you guys were talking about. And we didn't, you know, we knew you were missing out on that back home and wanted to try our best to create a special moment and a memory.
You guys exceeded. It was so sweet. And also it's really special to watch something with people. And like, that's one of the best parts of like a premiere, to be in a theater, like with everyone. And you guys recreated that experience for me. Cause I was like, oh, it was nice to see when everybody jumped or when they laughed or it was one of my favorite nights.
I love that
whole experience. Yeah.
Taryn, you are a boss in your own regard. You are a boss, like as a mom, obviously as a momager, but also just like in your own world, which I think sometimes we as parents in this business, like people don't understand that we also sometimes have other lives besides just managing our kids, you know, whole lives up until, you know, we take a little bit of a step back. But when we... Yeah, I got you. Bro.
Hey, shout out to the moms.
shout out, mama.
And dads.
Mom, thank you.
That's right. But when we were in New Zealand, Chandler, I remember she was like, you weren't there at first at the very beginning, and I was at the beginning, and then I left, and we literally missed each other.
Yes.
But I remember Chandler and I were sitting down one day, and she's like, I can't wait for you to meet my mom.
Yeah.
Like, I can't wait. And I was like, I can't wait to meet your mom. And then we never met until after Zombies 4 was over. And we went to the front yard in Studio City when Sway and Darmanji were in town. We all had dinner. And I was like, as soon as we met, I knew we were like going to click immediately. But I remember when Lauren,
I was there.
He called me though, once you got there, he's like, oh.
Because we had heard about Taryn. So it's kind of like the legend, you know.
The legend of Taryn.
The legend.
I still remember because you showed up right, I don't know if we were within a week or so of wrapping. So it was near the end of the movie. Yeah. And, you know, all of the parents were starting to figure out like wrap gifts and what are we going to do to bring this whole thing together. And you showed up and you were like a woman with a plan. You know, and it was obvious.
That's
it was
right.
obvious that a next level momager had just walked into the room.
I
remember like it was yesterday.
Yes.
So,
That's very kind of
The
you.
legend
Zach.
do you remember you
was hyping you up.
activated, you had this brilliant idea for a wrap gift with the jackets.
Yes.
Which
And then-
Malachi
Which
actually has
It's
his.
actually downstairs right now.
No, it's over there actually on the
Right here.
couch.
Did it? Oh yeah, I
Yes,
do have
you
it right
wore
there.
it today.
Because I wore it today, but then I was like, it's gonna be too loud in the mic.
Oh, fair.
I can't. You should
Show
leave
it off, man.
Yeah,
Come on.
show it
All right.
Come
Okay,
on.
if you guys can, I'm gonna leave those right here. I'm gonna move this over here a little bit.
We're not going to hear
But-
you, but it's fine. Oh.
Basically, this jacket was the wrap gift that Taryn and Chandler put together for us, and I'm gonna make the sleeves be right side out for a second. It is. Wait.
Can you do it?
No, I can't.
Good
It's
Lord.
okay, so it's a black bomber with. Is this the Vampire and the Daywalker logo?
Yeah. And then, well, that's the zombie, like that's zombies.
Zombies.
Is that the language?
The language.
In
on the left, and then the logo.
And then the logo is in part of your
Part of my costume, the same
Yeah,
material.
They took material from each of the costumes. I mean, that is next level momager.
Well, we
Yeah.
thought it would be special that when you got home, because you can't really you know, you'll have photos, but you won't really
Right.
have a piece of your costume.
Right.
So we wanted everybody to have a
I
piece of
love
their
that
costume. And the
so
costume
much.
department was
Cherish this.
insane. They
Yeah.
jumped right on it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah,
I
yeah.
remember
we
you
can
and
do
Sarah
it.
got the costume
and
department
Sarah
going.
was amazing.
And I think I have the picture here of
Oh,
the
there's
whole
everybody's
cast.
jackets.
So
Oh,
yeah,
cute.
everyone has the first letter of their character name
Yes.
in the material from their costume.
That's at the little game bar next door.
Yes.
It was like a
Dyson
little-
Fork.
Yes.
Oh, wait.
Shout
wait,
out.
no, not
Dyson
Dyson
Fork.
Fork.
Dyson
Yeah,
Fork,
Dyson
yeah.
Fork. That's right.
Super cute restaurant where you can order food and then just like
Remember
grab a
the-
board game. and
Remember the
play.
chicken tender thing?
I do.
It was like the chicken tender roulette.
I remember.
There was a
that.
chicken
What do
tender
you
roulette.
mean?
There was chicken tender roulette, and
We were
basically-
delirious. Okay, this was like
You were-
we had just wrapped. We were tired.
You were there. Were
No.
this. Okay,
What
so
is
there's
chicken
a
tender
chicken
roulette?
tender roulette. There's what was it like? 8 chicken tenders,
Something like that.
something like
yeah.
that.
Something like that.
And one of them was like scolding hot, like a challenge, like hot one style.
That they
chicken
did
tender.
that?
and they do that.
Oh,
Because they're all. It was a game place. Like it was
got
like
you.
they had a shot roulette where you had to guess what was in the
Okay.
shot, like all that type of stuff. Did not partake.
Obviously.
Don't worry, I'm smart.
but chicken tender roulette.
Oh, I
all
partook.
over that.
I partook.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, we did chicken tender roulette.
It
It
was
was
fun.
That's
quite
crazy.
fun.
It was really
So,
fun.
Okay, so tell our listeners, interviewers, a little bit about Taryn, though. Besides being the incredible mama of Chandler, like, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Oh, my goodness.
And Chandler, you should probably fill in because sometimes it's hard for us to talk about ourselves.
Oh, she struggles talking about herself. So I'm here to hype you up.
Okay. So I spent about 15 years with a major insurance company where I owned 2 different insurance agencies.
Okay.
That's what I did.
Wow.
And then
I can't stop.
when we moved to down here near LA,
Because you're originally from,
we were in
NorCal, right?
Sacramento.
Sacramento, okay.
Yeah, I'm originally from the Midwest.
right.
But when we moved down here to LA, my children were actually 1, 2, and 3.
Oh my gosh.
So it was hard for me to open a new agency or
Totally.
whatever. So at that point, I was home with the kids for a while. And then I went
Yeah.
back and got my master's in clinical psychology.
Amazing.
and
Which
worked
you and
with-
Lauren totally
Yes.
can relate
Yes.
on because Lauren's back in school.
In school.
Yes. And worked a bit in drug and alcohol rehabilitation.
Amazing.
And then right as I was deciding to get my doctorate, literally the week I made that commitment to get my doctorate, somebody started booking.
Someone said, I want to be an actor.
Someone, a little bitty
Yikes.
voice said that. And I was faced with a choice at that
Yeah.
point. It was like,
yeah.
you know, my career or my child, and
Yeah.
I chose my child.
I
And
love
it's
it.
been so much fun. It was
Yeah.
absolutely the best decision.
What's that been
Right?
like
Something
for you to
about that.
have your mom just like on your team with you through all of that?
Yeah, I mean, it was everything for me because I think it is such a big sacrifice. And now, as an adult, as a 24-year-old, looking back at like my 9-year-old self,
Yeah.
there's so much that I was able to do because of her and like the time and effort and energy that she poured into me.
Yeah.
And then there's also so much that, like, speaking with friends who also were child actors who like grew up in this crazy industry,
Mhm.
there are experiences that like that I think there's a lot that can go on. And I think for me, I had a very positive experience. And I have friends who didn't have as
Yeah.
positive of an experience. And I think that is because she was literally like my shadow. She was always
Yeah.
there, always watching, always listening. And so, yeah, I mean, like, gratitude is the word that comes to mind for me because she put everything and then some into like giving me the chance to do this. I could have, it could have not
Yeah.
unfolded the way that it did. But I love the story that you talk about when I first started and you were like trying to find your way and you went to the store and you got all these books.
Yeah. Yes.
You want to tell the story?
Sure. People will ask me, they'll come up to me and say, well, my child wants to get into
All
the
the time.
business.
Yeah.
What did you do? And I said, okay, this is what I did.
Okay.
When she presented herself as an actress, then I went to, I said, I need to learn. And I'm really big on learning
You're a
for
learner.
myself. I
Yeah.
love to read. I love to learn. So I found a Barnes & Noble. down near the industry, right? So we were further out. Our Barnes and Noble didn't have anything. So I drove down to the Grove.
There you go. There you
Which
go.
was a hike at that time. I drove to the Grove, and they had an entire section on kids who wanted to be in the industry. So I bought like 10 books.
Did you really?
And I read them cover to cover.
Mhm.
I love that.
And it saved us years of problems, because people learn things, they write it, and they say, don't do this, do this. And I listened. And so it really, really helped. And I could always tell sometimes when someone is looking for a quick fix.
There's no
because
quick
I'll
fixes.
say, here's a good book to read. And then I'll see them 6 months later. Have you read that book yet?
No.
And they're like, no.
Right.
So,
Right.
it's,
But
but it's
also,
something.
we now have podcasts like
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Totally. This
Yes.
will step into that space.
Yeah. That's our hope for sure.
100%.
Yeah.
For
I mean,
sure.
whether, for our listeners, whether you have a kid that's playing football or wants to be a doctor, I think any of those industries that when your child is a dream, you as a parent have an opportunity to help activate that dream in them. And I think doing that is being proactive yourself and going, okay, what do I need to do to learn the most about this so that I can give them all of the tools necessary to succeed, right? Because otherwise it's like, all right, we'll have fun.
Right.
And then they don't feel your support. They don't feel your, encouragement.
And it takes twice as long.
100%. Yeah, that's the gift that we've been given as a parent, to be able to help activate this in our kids. I love it.
Right. And speaking of, I feel like, I truly believe that every single person does have a gift.
Yeah, absolutely.
But some people never find theirs, right? So what I always did with my 3 is I just like kind of studied them. And when they presented as being good in something, we ran with it.
That's great.
So I have a son who I noticed that he was good with picking up accents and languages. And so I threw him into language, and, so now, and then, of
now
course.
he speaks like 4 languages.
Wow. And because he does have that ear,
But that was only because you noticed that in him.
But you have to watch your kids to see where they lead you, and that was the thing. She loved entertainment. It was very obvious
Love being in the
from
spotlight.
age 2.
She loved all the attention.
Grocery
situation.
store
Same. This guy.
Grocery store is created for you all to dance down the aisle.
There you go.
And that's what it was. I'm like,
Hey,
so
love you, Malachi. You get it. This guy gets it.
I knew she wanted to be an entertainer.
Yeah.
And so we just ran with it. And I just wanted to make sure whatever we did, that we were learning the most about it, right? I didn't want to be a passive passenger on the journey. I wanted to be an active participant to make sure if we're going to do this crazy thing, let's do it right.
That's it. Don't be a passive passenger. Like that. I love that.
Yeah.
That should be like a
Don't be a
t-shirt.
PP.
Don't be a
There it is. You heard it here.
We're quoting that.
Don't be a PP.
allowed.
No PPs allowed.
I need to sleep.
No, but that's
Feel
so.
free.
That's
Remember we told you can take breaks whenever you need.
you can just take a nap if you need it. It's fine. No, but that's like, I think that is high quality parenting advice, period.
Yeah.
Because it's easy for us to just be stressed out by the everyday, but like it's our job. It's our opportunity. I don't even want to say job. It's our opportunity to be, participants in this, the good PP.
Right.
No.
The APs.
Yes, active participants. In their lives, right? Like we couldn't have a child for a long time, and he came around and it was a full miracle for us. And I felt so honored that I got to have him.
Right.
And so for me, it was like, why wouldn't I? I remember when we got pregnant too. This sounds really cheesy, but we prayed. We were like, Lord, give us like just something extra special. And we promised we'll put him in the lessons. We'll give him if he's a piano
You can go ahead and say,
player.
babe, we literally prayed, God, give us a prodigy.
Yeah, we did.
We were so idealistic.
And you
in
got
every-
one. Well,
yeah.
no, I think that in that prayer, it was like, Malachi's like, I'm a prodigy.
He said,
no,
"Wait."
Malachi.
Chosen one.
The chosen
I
one
played
from
the
the-
chosen one, and
Yeah.
I am the chosen one.
You're something. But no, like we
Hey, I'll
really.
remember you guys when I'm big.
Oh my Lord!
But it really was our young idealistic parent hearts going, hey, we want a great kid, and because we're going to do everything we can to help them
just
fully
that
realize
idea.
their potential, which I think is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
When we were in New Zealand, again, we were talking before you got there. Chandler and I talked a lot about just the transition. And I remember you and I sat down once. And I was like, "Tell me about the transition with you and your mom from being a child actor to being a minor to being an adult." Because for me, I want to make this transition over the next few years as cool as possible, as easy. And I know we already feel the rub on occasion, and that's real and it's to be expected. But I wanted your advice from like the child perspective, child in quote, because you're clearly an adult now. But like what that was like for you. And she was incredible to like give me that, that advice. What do you miss about having her around all the time?
Aw. We were in Queenstown. I remember that actually now. We were at dinner and we were sitting and this is the South Island and that was a really nice night. Because I love talking about it, especially because it's been the last 15 years of my life. And it is like my relationship with my mom is like it is my favorite relationship in my life. It's the most special relationship in my life. And that transition is tricky. It can definitely be tricky. And I think even I'm like 24 years old today. I think we're still like, in the final stages of that transition. So it takes time. And I think it's just a lot of communication. Yeah. Like in any relationship. Yeah. A lot of communication, a lot of checking in. She was the primary decision maker when I was a child. Like she definitely respected me so much, even as like, a 9, 10, 11-year-old to speak my mind and follow my pursuits and my passions. But as mom, at the end of the day, like she had the final stamp of approval and she was the eyes and ears on everything. And then for her to then take a step aside and like have me come up as like an equal mind on the team, I think that was probably tricky, I think at times, because also the mom-daughter, parent-child relationship doesn't go away. It's always there and will always be there. And I always want it to be there. But then I'm becoming like the boss on my team. It's Team Chandler. Yeah. And so then for me, it was a lot of like trying to get clear on like what I wanted and like having the final say on things and that independence and that I guess autonomy. Yeah. And then her position, I feel like really became just mostly one of support and like the right hand woman. Yeah.
Like a sounding board.
Yeah, strategist. Yeah. I think sounding board, whatever form that takes. And I think it's almost maybe trickier at times because it can take more shapes and forms now. It can be as simple as like, emotional support or just a reassurance, or it can be as involved as like answering the email if I'm like on set, or making the final decision because she knows me. There's no one that knows me like she does. Totally. And so I don't know. What is your experience?
I think it's tricky. Yeah. It's tricky making that jump because you know how you can lock someone in at a certain point, right? And you're just you're running on autopilot, right? And then all of a sudden you look over and there's a full-grown adult sitting there, but you're still on autopilot.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the thing. For her, I think sometimes she felt like maybe I didn't view her as an adult, but I wasn't even viewing. Do you know what I mean? It was autopilot,
so
just jumping in there and doing things.
Sorry,
yeah. You guys think we're thinking. We're not always thinking.
That is
straight
like
on,
that's. I feel like you're reading my mind.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's exactly the best way to explain where I feel like we have been recently. Some of the like discomfort is not because I don't see that he is, you know, coming into adulthood, that he is capable,
Right.
you know, all of those things, or that I believe, that I believe he can. I 100% believe that he can.
Right.
I can't, I'm excited about what the
Yeah.
future is, but for 17 years, this is what my normal has
Right.
been.
Right.
And so you just,
You're
it's
not a light
autopilot.
switch. You're not a light
No.
No,
switch.
you
can't
sound like
just switch
her
it
because
off.
this is these are conversations that we've had.
I'm
Yeah.
cooked.
No, you will make it through. But
Yeah.
but it's also like been such a core part of your identity, I think, as well. And so for you, and I don't want to speak for you, but from what I've heard you say to me is like, it's a hat that you're so used to wearing that you just like throw on without even thinking. And I'm like, well, I didn't even ask for that. Like, I'm
Right.
good. I'm good. And
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
oh, but it's also because that's what you've been
Right.
doing
Yeah.
for so long.
Right. Right. And because I wasn't passive, I was very active. It's very hard for me to back up. Right.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
really, really hard to back up. And the hat thing is like the mom hat versus the strategist hat,
Totally.
right? Or the momager hat, right? And so I have led with that strategist momager's hat for years because it was a very clear delineation
Yep.
between her being a child and me being the adult.
Right.
But now that we're both adults, sometimes she actually now more than ever would like me just to put the mom hat on and take off the strategist hat.
Are you guys clear in that conversation? Like, are you pretty good at communicating that?
We're trying to be. We're
Yeah.
getting there.
That's like the last little thing. And it's really like become a conversation of boundaries.
Yeah.
Like for both of us,
Yeah.
you know, and I will get mad at her sometimes when she asks me a work question at 1 a.m. And I'm like, wait, I just called to talk to my mom. And you're like, oh,
And
did
I'm
you
like,
answer
by
the
the way,
email?
did you answer? Because you made a good point. You made a good point that I think needs to be said here. I am the only person that I can hit her with business 24/7.
Same.
Yeah. So
Right.
I'm
we
the
talk
only
about this a
person that can
lot.
do that. So I've been trying to pull all my business questions back into like a normal business hour time period.
So
I think
smart.
what's
You know.
tricky about this industry, particularly, which is all I can speak on because it's all I know, is that it can be so, and this is coming from someone that like loves what I do and will continue to do what I do till the day I die. But it can be so invasive at times.
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh.
It's not a typical 9 to 5.
24 hours.
It's 25/8.
Yes.
And it requires so
25/7
much of you.
just to F and get by.
Literally.
Yeah, exactly. So you
There's a
guys
song
It's
about
literally
that.
that.
You guys get it. And it requires so much of you personally as
Yeah.
well. And so because like, and this is my own like mental internal conflict. It's like sometimes, you know, I am a person, but I'm also a product at times too. And so that's a whole nother conversation. So I think like the boundary conversation is important
Yeah.
because I do often, more times nowadays than not, like just need my mom, not a momager, not a team member,
Yep.
you know, and it's tough to like find that structure within, you know, the relationship, trying to balance two different identities and two
100%.
different dynamics.
Right.
Lauren
Because
and I-
you're trying to keep the product moving forward as a
Right.
business and a livelihood. But
right.
in the meantime, you have to care for the person.
Yes.
Right.
And that's not easy.
And the person has to come first too.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yeah.
where we rub sometimes
Right.
because she's very acts of service. That is her love language. I am words of affirmation. And so sometimes we get a bit confused because her form of caring for me and loving on me is
doing.
acts of service. And she's like, oh, I see you're behind in this. Let me step in and do that email for you. Or let me make sure you have, you know, this outfit for this event on this day. And I'm like, I just need my mom. I just need you to sit with me and talk with me and unpack this thing with me. And she's like, I'm here trying to care for you, but it falls to me. I'm like, this is business and I don't want to do business right now. So it's just, but that's just the communication.
100%.
So here's something that just happened. You don't even know. We were sitting in your room, and I don't know if maybe this was Sunday, which is why I didn't do it. or why I caught myself. why I caught myself. But there was a little thing that she was supposed to post for, and it was on her dresser thing, right? And I looked over, and it was there, and it almost came out of my mouth. Hey, are you going to post for that? And then I checked myself and said, well, it's Sunday, so I'm not going to say anything.
Wow.
And then, the funny thing is 20 minutes later, you picked it up and put it in your purse.
Yeah.
So she hadn't forgotten it.
Yeah.
But also too, because of all the decades that I had before you were even born, running a business and all that other stuff. I am trained to not only just look down the road, but around the corner, over the hill, and down the alley. So I'm always thinking like that.
Yep.
And I think that also can rub if you're just trying to be in the moment and I'm all the way around the corner down the street. So I've tried to stop that,
Man, I feel like the last 10 minutes of our conversation, I'm going to rewind it and take notes.
Please do, Mom.
No, for both of us, because
that's,
and Lauren, you and I do this on occasion where, because you're such an analytical mind and go into problem solving mode immediately for things. And I'll say to him sometimes, hey babe, I just need you to be my husband and my best friend right now.
Yes.
And,
I relate, Taryn, with what you're saying. I think you and I are wired a lot alike.
I only have brothers.
Wired both.
I think it's problem solving.
Yeah. It's helpful.
And I'm like you,
right?
I'm like, just sit with me.
And then I'm the happy medium.
I think that's actually good, Malachi, for us too. I will take some of these things. I love even just the immediate piece that I feel like I'm learning is maybe it's we should talk about our times. Because sometimes you'll go, it's 6 o'clock, Mom, and I want to go hang with my boys. And I'm like, oh, but you have to do da-da-da-da-da-da real quick. Yeah. And I feel like maybe that's something that I could do better.
What?
I love it. Come on. A big round of applause right there.
This is his favorite part of the podcast.
I did. No, but that's really, really good information for he's crying. No.
He's so happy.
Joy.
Finally.
Oh, yeah.
But also I will say I appreciate the grace. I'm sure you do as well that because we've been on the other side of this, right? We were in our 20s, 17 once, and it's I remember my parents were just here recently and I was talking to my mom about when I was 17 and she was like, you were really hard at 17, Felicia. And she said, do you remember, why are you taking such excitement in this conversation? Right. But she said, I remember when you were 17, this is crazy enough. We were on a missions trip in Peru. And she said, I was like, I'm so sorry I put you through this while we were on a missions trip in Peru. This is really unfortunate. But she was like, you were really difficult to communicate with. You just had your mindset on something and da-da-da. And she said, I remember going into my room while we were there and I just cried. And I was like, oh my God, I made you cry on a missions trip in Peru because of me and my arrogance or whatever it was. And she was like, and we had a whole conversation about it. And I think that there is grace that we give on our side and there's grace on, the in the reverse as well that I'm so thankful for. And we talk about this a lot, that I'm constantly learning. Yeah. I've never raised a 17-year-old boy before. Yeah. And you've never been 17 before.
Exactly.
So there's so many things. But to your point, Chandler, when you said, we're really lucky that these experiences have been good for us, I think it's because of this kind of conversation, the open 100%. Communication between, parent and kid that happens in this transition that matters so much. And when you see kids in this business that kind of don't have the a similar experience, that maybe they hit some other tough times, it's because they don't really have somebody to talk to, and so that open line of communication,
it's huge.
So good.
It's huge. I say it's a blessing and a curse that she's so verbal.
What does that mean? Do you want to elaborate on that? No. You want me to shut up? Is that what you're saying?
Chandler,
you're very clear.
With all the talk about just that transition of going from constantly having your mom on set as like a support system and stuff like that. For me, when I do my first project without my mom or my dad,
Yeah.
He's counting down the days, y'all.
no, I'm not. But when I do have my first project without them and I'm on my own, whether it's Z5, but
Yep.
hopefully, fingers crossed. What is one thing that you would tell me to look out for, or just general advice for me not having somebody like that, like things I might miss?
I love this.
So
That's a great question.
Do your laundry when
Come
you
on
have
now.
a break.
Yeah. Time management.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, I'm going to stay out of it. This is not me giving the advice. It's you,
Yeah.
Chandler.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think it's really like you have to manage yourself in all the ways, and that's like emotionally, that's like time wise, is honestly time management. There's no one going to be knocking on your door telling you got to get out the door in 20 minutes, you know.
I'm
And
cooked.
it's so you're cooked. No, it's just yeah, it's really having to step up in a real way. And I think also just community. I think that's what I really have found the importance in leaning on people. Like, this is not something that you can do by yourself.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that as a reminder for myself, as someone that really enjoys her independence and the idea of being able to like be on my own and whatever that looks like. That's not real. Sorry. Sorry to be the one to break it to you. There's no award for doing things on your own.
Yeah.
You know, putting your ego aside, I think, is really important. And like leaning on your people. And that was something that I was really challenging myself to do in New Zealand during Zombies 4, because that was, I think, the first time, you know, I'd done Pretty
the
Little
longest.
Liars in New York, but you know, New York is different.
Right.
And like, it's
It's
not
an easy flight.
for sure.
And I came in and out on New
Yeah.
York.
And you were in and out. You were there to like set me up and get
Yes.
me situated.
Yeah.
I just flew to the other side of the world on my own without, you know, any family member, without anyone. And so, yeah, I really like tried to open myself up to you guys, which was actually hard for me because I am so used to like having my own people and like being in my own corner, and never showing any signs of stress or like trouble or just that anything is hard, which is again fake and not real. And also it's just a disservice to yourself, I think, at the end of the day.
Well, kudos to you in that, because I would have never guessed that was hard for you.
Really?
Yeah, because I felt like from the beginning, you and maybe it's also just like the way we kind of operate is like everyone's a part of the fam now, you know, but like you immediately opened up yourself to us and like, you know, jumped right into relationship. And I felt like you loved the hang. You love, you know, you love a good game night. You love a good, all of that kind of stuff. And I felt like you, maybe just the way we've related in general, like you felt very vulnerable and very like, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Like
that was hard for me. I'm like very extroverted. I will always show up for a game night. Like, let's get that clear.
Hey, don't you worry.
Don't you worry. I will be there.
Don't you
I will
worry.
run it.
Don't you worry.
But what was really hard for me was, and like I had conversations with you, I've had conversations with you of like what I was going through and like what was difficult for me. I used to never speak about that with anybody else outside of her or, you know, friends back home.
Yeah.
But to be open, like I think especially I was really struggling with, we talked about Pretty Little Liars and like me not being there and unfortunately those projects overlapping. I really wanted to be a part of that. And I was doing crazy hours. You guys remember? I literally I did the press junket online.
What was it at like
2
3
a.m.?
2
Yeah,
a.m.?
I woke up at midnight. I like slept for an hour, I think one night. Got up at like 12:30 and then had to get ready and then was on Zoom by like 2:30, 3 a.m., did a couple hours of the press junket, and then got in the car at 5 a.m. to go to set for Zombies.
It ain't all pretty,
14-hour
y'all.
day. It's not all
No.
pretty.
It is not all pretty.
That's
but
some
for
next
me-
level time management right
Right.
there.
You want to talk about time
Yeah.
management?
That's right.
See, what I would have done is gone, hey, so for some reason my alarm didn't go off.
Sorry.
This is why I'm not going anywhere for a minute.
But I like showed up those days and you guys were like, how are you doing? And I'm like, you know what? Not so hot.
Yeah.
But that was not natural for me.
Yeah.
Normally I would go into my everything's
I'm
good.
great.
I'm great.
Yeah.
I had 8 hours of sleep last night.
Right.
Lies.
Yeah.
And so you guys just like, that's kudos to you guys too for creating that environment for me to feel comfortable like expressing myself and admitting like when I wasn't okay and just like being there to give me a little boost, you know, some reassurance, a listening ear, a shoulder to lean on. And so to bring it back to you, that would be my advice, you know, like it's okay to not do it all on your own. Find community. Like I think you're really smart. You're a really smart person. This is I just went into big sister mode. I love
it. Do it. Go
Like
there.
you're smart, you're discerning, like you know who you can trust and who you can lean on and like and lean on those people.
Yes, ma'am.
Speaking of your love for games, Chandler, I do have proof of that because here we are on a boat, headed over.
Oh my gosh.
That was
when we went on the wine tour.
Were we playing spoons then?
I think y'all are playing spoons.
With knives.
No, we
Wooden knives.
Yes.
That's what it
Yeah.
was.
Or were they coffee
Yeah,
stirrers?
we had
Something
little like
that.
sticks.
Yeah.
I love a game. These folks know. I love a game. I would always, you guys know, had bananagrams with me at all times.
Do you have it with you?
really?
Times.
Yes.
She does.
You have it
She
with
carries
you
it at
today.
all times.
Well, not in this tiny little bag. But
Chandler, you don't just love games; you're really, really good at games.
Yeah.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
right?
Thank you
I
very
mean,
much.
You're competitive. You want to
I'm
win.
very competitive.
Very competitive.
Chandler, I know that our listeners, there are a couple of things that they for sure want to hear about Dancing with the Stars and Zombies.
Yeah.
Most current is Dancing with the Stars
Stars.
when
Yeah.
you and Brandon just
Yes.
finished up season 33.
That's
and you guys were
right.
finalists. So tell me a
Yeah.
little bit about that. How was it?
It was so much fun. It was an incredible experience. I had never done anything like that. It made me realize how much I like live performance. I had never done like anything on a stage
Yeah.
really. Maybe when I was 9 for like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I did like local theater.
You did a theater run in Atlanta. That was the only thing. you
Yeah.
did. that
Yeah.
was
But
about
I
3
was
months.
like 10 or
Yeah,
11.
I think you were 10.
Yeah. So
9 or
new
10.
territory for me.
Mhm.
And it was so much fun. I learned so much about myself and so much about ballroom. Ballroom dance is hard. It's
Ain't no joke.
really hard. Gotta shout out Miss Felicia over here, who was
Yeah.
with me throughout the entire experience because she is one of the most angelic voices in the band.
Yes.
So it was nice.
Well, I screamed when I found out you were on the show.
I know.
Oh, I was.
That was
I-
the craziest coincidence. That was
I
so weird.
crazy.
screamed
Yeah.
because
I was in the other room. And my mom was like, Chandler's gonna be on Dancing with the Stars.
I couldn't believe it. I may have shed a tear. I was so excited because I've done this show for 10 years.
Yeah.
And over the course of that, there have been a few celebrities that come in that I've known. And whenever that happens, for me, it just makes my season extra special.
Mhm.
Because I get to spend time with people that I love and care for. And so when I found out you were on there after having just been in New Zealand with you
Yeah.
for a while and everything, I was like, oh, this is just going to continue. This is amazing.
And you got to sing some of my favorite songs
I
from
got
the
to
season.
see some fun ones. But my
Yeah.
favorite moment on the whole season, first of all, let me just say how proud I am of you,
Thank
like
you.
publicly, because I
Thank
know your body still hurts.
Oh, I am like still unwell.
But I just want to say, like, watching you week in, week out, the emotional, the mental, like the physical, all of that was inspiring.
Mm.
It was, you were a beast. You showed up, you did it. You gave absolutely, if you doubt, let me tell you, which camera do I look at? This one, she gave absolutely everything. Like she
Yeah.
left it all in the ballroom. And I loved getting to watch your mom the whole season too. Getting to see you all season was so fun. But my favorite moment was when you got to dedicate the song to your mom, that was a really beautiful, I'll try not to cry, beautiful moment. And she had told me early on in the season that was going to be happening. And then every time I saw you, I was like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. Don't,
Yeah, I didn't.
don't tell her
spoil the
what's happening.
surprise.
You actually told me literally when you,
Yeah.
right after I found out that you were on the show, you were like, and this is what we're going to do
Yeah.
at dedication night. If I make it this far, I'm
Yeah.
going to dedicate the song and I want you to sing. I hope you dance for my mom and
And you sing it
da-da-da-da.
beautifully.
Thank
You
you.
were amazing.
Well, that was such a
Beautifully.
why did you want to make that dedication to your mom?
Well, because she is, wow. Are we getting emotional? Okay.
Welcome to MOMager. We laugh a lot, we cry a lot.
She's my best friend.
Aw.
And yeah, I truly would never in a million years be in that space on that stage if it wasn't for her, for the time and energy and the patience that she's had lots of, and just the love that she's poured into me. And so, yeah, I felt like she was just as much a part of that experience.
Yeah.
For me. And so, yeah, it was actually one of the first things I knew I wanted to
Yeah.
do because I knew dedication night was happening.
Yeah.
I knew I wanted to dedicate it to her. I knew that song specifically was really special because it was like she used to play it for me all the time.
What was that like for you, Taryn, when you found out that she was going to do that dedication to you?
Well, I didn't know the song until it started.
Yeah,
Oh, you didn't know?
Oh, I was really good at keeping the surprise.
What?
I did not
I had
tell
no
her.
idea you didn't tell her that.
wild.
Yes.
That takes
Good
skill.
job.
That takes skill.
Thank you. I was like jumping through hoops to make sure that she
Yeah.
would not know. Because even there's like a press release that tells everyone like
What the songs are.
what everyone's dancing to.
Uh-huh.
I was like, stay offline. Don't
You
look
did.
at
I
anything.
did. I stayed offline. I didn't want it ruined.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
No, it was
that
amazing because
moment?
my brain just exploded because at the same time I could see us playing that in the car. We used to play it all the time in the car.
It was
I
like
could
her
see
love
that
letter
as yeah.
to me. And
yeah.
like I always said that the lyrics were exactly like what she would want me to
Yeah.
carry with me through my
Yes.
life. And so,
I love that.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Dang.
special.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was pretty. I was mind blown at that time. I was just like, what?
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was
the judges
stunning.
chose
It
that
was
night
stunning.
to be.
that was a
Yeah.
whole, that was a whole situation. Honestly,
I did not even
I don't
hear
remember
this.
anything what they said.
We can do a whole nother. We can do a whole nother podcast based off the
I don't
judging of
remember what
season
they
season
said.
I didn't even hear
33.
them speak.
No. Lauren, play a little bit of this.
Oh.
It was
Here we
really
go.
special.
This is so sweet.
And I love, you can see Taryn right there and you're yellow.
I hope you never lose your sense of wonder.
This was a 10 dance. I'm not gonna lie.
It was a 10 dance. Absolutely. Oh.
You look beautiful, Chandler.
Shout out Brandon also. You know,
Insane choreography.
Brandon Armstrong, my guy, my homie. He did an incredible job with the choreography.
Oh,
all
100%.
season long. Yes, note. You better sing. You better sing.
Miss Felicia in the back there singing on stage.
We screwed up this lift.
well,
You can't
I can't tell that you screwed it
That's
up.
actually so funny that you guys can't tell because, okay, you can tell here because we were very confused. Okay, I
Things
have to
that only you would know.
I have to take a moment to talk about that. Yeah,
Please
so
go
we
for it.
we totally screwed up that lift. That's not what it was supposed to be. I was supposed to feed my leg through
Oh.
because he had me like this.
Yes.
I was supposed to like poke my leg through. And I think he accidentally had my skirt. And so there was no like hole for me to poke my leg through. I was supposed to hit this like beautiful arabesque in the sky, in the air. And that didn't quite happen. So we improvised
Amazing.
and he didn't drop me. But yeah, there was just some confusion when we got down because we were like, what's going on?
What people don't realize too is a lot of times Dancing with the Stars, you guys don't really practice in your wardrobe until
you
dress
have
rehearsal, right?
One go with your
Full
actual
wardrobe.
like
Yeah.
wardrobe with
That's
everything.
insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had no idea that was going to be.
You have to like
issue.
kind of figure it out with like the fake skirts and like the
Yes.
practice stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And
When-
yeah, it
When
was tough.
you saw her up there, did you kind of feel like you were seeing little Chandler up there? A little bit?
Yes, yes. Oh my God, yes. Yes,
Yeah.
it took me right back.
yeah, I
It's
think
pretty amazing.
I really wanted to do this for baby Chandler because
Oh.
once upon a time ago, like I wanted to become a dancer.
Yeah.
Like dance was my first love.
Yeah.
Like I started at a really young age and then I stopped at a really young
Yeah.
age because I
Mhm.
started acting when I was 9.
Yeah.
And so I was doing both for some time.
Yeah.
But then ultimately chose acting and left
Yeah.
the dance life behind. And so, but it does just bring out a specific part of me. I
Totally.
think I don't even know how to describe it, but like it is this very specific love that I have for it.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a
you're so
happiness
good
that
at it.
Yeah,
Thank
you are. You look like a natural. I remember what dance was it? Was it the one that you did? It was the team dance.
Yes,
When-
you were there that
Yeah.
night. Yeah.
You looked like a pro. You looked like you were one of the like
The pros.
Was that
one of the
how-
troop. Like it was
that
like
was
you
Disney
looked like you were a pro.
That was Disney
Yeah,
night,
yeah, yeah,
yes,
yeah.
because
Yeah,
I did
yeah,
my
Proof,
I
Team
did my
Proof.
Paso Doble to
Right.
We Own the
We
Night,
Own the Night.
which you also say.
I know, which is so bizarre for me too. That was like a very weird zombies moment.
I know.
I was like,
the crossover is
Chandler's
crazy.
dancing to her song. She should be singing those, but I'm singing Chandler's song. Malachi's in the audience. Zombies just happened. It was like and we're at Dancing with the Stars. My
Very
whole,
strange.
all of
It
my
was
worlds were like
Colliding.
colliding.
Yes.
Yeah, it was,
I was
very
grateful
bizarre.
that you sang that as well because they couldn't clear it for whatever
So
reason.
random.
The
Even though
legal
you
of it
sang it,
all
that doesn't even make
is so
sense.
strange. But they actually did ask me if I wanted to re-record it, and
Yeah.
I was like, "With what time?
Yeah,
When would I
Yeah.
do that?" And so
Totally.
I was like, "My girl Felicia got me."
I got you, girl.
And yeah,
but also that
one
was
of my
weird for
favorite
me to
nights.
like fully channel
Willa.
in that moment because I
She's
was like,
channeling Chandler.
there's part channeling Chandler.
Channeling Chandler.
There's part of it, when we're singing those songs on Dancing with the Stars, you are, some songs there's a little more freedom, right?
Mm.
But some songs are so specific to
Yeah.
to Zombies fans and to your sound and so you want to like do it right without like I don't want to put Felicia in that. You know what I mean? Like I want to make sure that it's true to the character and true to that moment.
Yeah.
So the Zombies fans don't come after me.
Right.
No, they loved it. I loved it.
It was amazing.
Yeah,
It was so fun. That was one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah.
100%. Mine too.
Okay, well, I thought we could go into chatting about zombies.
Do it.
And I wanted to chat about zombies by because we could just talk about it. But I thought we could play a little game.
I love games.
That's the most fun. So what we're gonna do is Lauren is bringing a couple of whiteboards
Ooh.
Thanks, Dad.
for the two of you. Malachi, you want to just pass them down? Yes, a high five.
Yay! Okay.
Apple juice at the end
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm gonna
I'll
pass
buy you an
that
apple
to you
juice.
and
Okay.
pass this to you as
All
well.
right,
That's
boom.
gonna get passed to Chandler.
Boom.
Wait, you guys aren't gonna play with us?
We are going to
We're
cheer
gonna
you on.
Laugh.
All right.
Oh, no.
Also known as laughing.
I'm nervous.
All right,
Okay,
Chandler.
Lauren,
I'm
are you ready for this?
I'm winning.
I am
We're
ready.
gonna start off.
in.
I'm
We're
tapped.
gonna start off
I'm
easy.
so tapped.
We're gonna start off
I'm so
easy.
tapped. Okay.
Did you put your cards down? Because I know that I actually left the card in there, and I want to make sure you didn't look at round
My
one.
cards are right here.
Okay,
Yeah, no
great.
cheating. No
Okay.
cheating, Malachi.
Start off easy with round one, Lauren.
All right, here we go. What is the name of the high school where the events of zombies
It's
take
easy.
place?
4, 3, 2.
One.
We're
Go.
wrong.
Come on.
All right.
Okay.
I got it.
Turn on three. We'll do that.
'Kay.
So write it. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Seabrook.
Nice.
High.
Seabrook
Well,
High.
obviously it's Seabrook High.
She's like, I'm gonna win because I put high at the end.
Can I get a point and he gets half a point?
Okay.
Oh,
Absolutely
wow.
not. And you know what I'm not gonna have?
I'm going to give you each a point.
Okay,
Thank you.
competitive on
Thank you.
another
I
level. I
appreciate
love
that.
this.
I
Okay.
appreciate
Taryn, you get a bonus. I'm sorry, Chandler. You get a bonus
For
tenth of a
specificity.
point.
Okay.
Absolutely
So at
not.
1.1.
Hey, that
One
one
point one.
Absolutely not.
Okay, I'll take
Okay.
it.
Absolutely not.
Number
No.
two.
No,
Now,
no.
I'm going to tell you this is a little tricky
Oh,
because it's a little tricky. Okay, number two.
gosh.
Go, Lauren.
All right. What color is Addison's hair when she is first introduced in Zombies?
It's kind of a trick question.
Don't
Not
think
gonna
too
lie.
hard.
Lauren with the sounds. Are you writing a paragraph, Chandler? Okay,
Hang on.
2,
Hang on.
1.
Not a thesis.
Go.
Let's see.
Oh!
Blonde wig, but she white hair
Right,
under.
but she wears a blonde wig.
Dang!
All right.
That's actually impressive.
You
All right.
each get
You
a
gotta be
point.
specific.
It's because I said it's a trick question. That's
Yeah,
why you
they
both
kept
knew
going,
that.
they
Yeah,
kept
you both
going.
knew.
Was the right answer white?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
White,
but-
you guys
Yeah.
are trying to be true.
She later dyes it pink.
Okay.
That's
All right,
true.
number 3.
All right, the score is 2.1 to 2.
Dude, we're not doing this. I'm not getting screwed over like I did on that other podcast.
Hey, you can earn extra credit too, bro.
That.
You
come
two
on,
can earn
Just
extra
write
credit.
sentences.
Are you ready for the next question?
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Let's go.
What special power does Addison discover she has in Zombies 2?
Wait, stop. Hold on.
In Zombies 2.
Zombies 2.
Addison's special power in Zombies 2. She discovers a special power. Great question.
Have I stumped you?
Wait,
both?
hold on. We can work together.
What's that special power?
Let me call a friend. Malachi.
Did the game master Felicia come through?
Huh?
I say you're the game master.
I
You,
know.
you cracked the code.
Did she find what's in the second one?
The what?
Oh, they
That's
just
That's when you were, I love that you're whispering. I'm right here.
Wait, into the microphone.
Whispering into the microphone.
Into the microphone.
What?
She thinks she's a werewolf in the second one.
Yeah, but that's not a power.
But that's not, I know that's not a power.
But why did she think she was a werewolf?
Oh!
Why did she think she was?
Why? Because something may have happened.
I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it.
Stop. Hold on.
Wait.
Malachi, we were working
Even I
together.
know.
Okay. It had something to do with the moonstone. Remember when she was like,
Okay,
like, when
let
the
me give you
moonstone,
a
did something
hint.
And like,
Something happens at the end of Zombies 2.
well, that's when she.
Yeah,
just
that's that like
finds
the
out that she's-
asteroid thing.
Yeah.
Right, but something
You're gonna
happens.
tell us the
And her
answer.
hair goes woo. Then
You're
her
gonna tell
hair-
us the answer.
because her hair.
Oh, absolutely not. You're not writing
Okay,
down
I'm
an
gonna give you the answer.
No. You're not giving us nothing. No, absolutely
Chandler's
not.
writing something down. You better
Oh,
hurry up
shit,
and write
we
something
were-
down.
we were in this together. We were in this together.
I don't know.
You have 5 seconds. 5,
Absolutely not.
4,
That's messed.
3,
Okay, go on. Slow your
2,
roll, Dad. You don't like me.
1.
Okay, whatever. I don't even know.
All right, here we go. Reveal, please.
Power of friendship.
I am dead.
Curly hair.
Curly
It's
hair.
curly hair, right?
Okay.
Didn't she
turns
get
white? No, her hair turns more white, right?
But when she turns
Okay,
into
so
a
the
werewolf, doesn't her hair
answer
get curly?
is that her hair glows.
Glows.
Her hair
It
glows.
And I
glows.
said it turned.
Okay, so
So
here,
you wrote down power of friendship.
so here's what I'm going to do.
I
Here,
might walk over there and slap you if you give her a half a point.
no. Here is the final judgment. Malachi, because you had hair in your answer, I'm going to give you a 10th of a point. Ah, let's go. We're all tied at 2.1.
Okay, when did she have curly hair?
In Zombie, well,
When-
she put it
when
away
she
on though.
does when she
She thinks
had
she's a
when
wolf?
she when she
You know
turned
what
when she
curly
thought
hair looks like?
Her
Wasn't
wolf hair.
Wait,
her wolf
the
hair.
wolf- yeah.
Oh, but that was
not a power.
that was not like that wasn't a power. That was
It's
the
the only thing
werewolves
that I
doing
thought
their
about.
big one. They said do do do. We did that.
Oh.
It was the
You
power
know what's
of our hairstyling
the
techniques.
original script, the very original script, had the werewolves really into their hair.
Yeah.
it was
Really?
a
Oh, it was
major theme was
a
how
major
they did
plot
their
point.
yeah. So that's why
Yes.
it didn't quite
Interesting.
transfer when
She
they
put that-
did Addison. The werewolves did it because they're really into hair.
I
Yeah,
did
there
not
was
know
like-
that.
yeah.
remnants of that. That's why I'm like, stay out of our amazing hair because
Yeah.
it was just such a big thing.
It was a big
Oh,
part of the script.
interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting, guys. But we got one more question in the first round.
But let's say I'm just
He
like,
could have used
All right.
that as one.
Last question of round 1.
okay.
Which
Round
character
Oh,
is
yeah.
known for being the Seabrook High football captain
Easy.
and often acts as an antagonist to the zombies?
Wait,
That's
can you
sorry.
repeat the
I'm
question?
sorry,
Wrote
that's
it
wrong.
wrong.
Yeah.
Not football.
Wait,
Cheer
so
captain.
what's the correct question?
No,
Dave?
the answer's right on that, Lauren, but the question was wrong.
Got it.
Cheer captain. 3, 2,
Why are you writing a
1.
whole essay? She didn't write out his full name.
She's going for extra credit.
Character name, date of
his
birth.
middle name.
Okay, Bucky, played by Trevor Torchman, extra point for
Oh,
specificity.
Bucky, played by Trevor. No, I'm joking.
Did you,
Also-
did you spell his last name right?
Yeah, Tordj. That's a MAN.
Nice. Okay, let's just go on to
Well
round 2.
All right, round 2, we're
All
tied.
right.
tied at
Speed round.
3.1.
Which song in Zombies is
boycotting
there a
this
lyric that says, "I'll be free, can't bring me down, so I'll rise"? That's the question.
All right.
Wrong song. I'll be free, can't bring me down, so I'll rise. This is in Zombies, the first one.
Wait, actually, I don't know what the name of the song is, but I'm gonna take a.
You don't want to work together on this one?
No.
I got it. Ready? I'm taking
Okay,
it
3,
such
2, 1.
someday.
No, it's not someday.
I know, I'm joking.
It's stand. Is it?
Yes,
I'm
it's
gonna
it.
stand.
It's stand.
Yeah!
Yay, you got it.
Yeah! There she goes.
There she goes.
Yes.
That's right.
Right before she whips off that
That's
wig.
right.
Yes.
Hilarious. I love it. No, we actually did just have like a full recent zombies. Showed my niece all of the zombies movies while she was here for Thanksgiving.
Look at how baby she looks.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All of
and
you,
Milo.
actually. All of
Because
you.
It's been what, 7 years?
Oh, yeah.
We went through this
Time.
when we went through these with my niece the other day. It was like we were talking about how everyone looks so young.
I know, so baby.
Okay, this
So
one
baby.
we're gonna move on because we're just gonna move on.
Okay.
Okay, so this round, Malachi,
Yes.
pull your cards out. You
All right.
Chad,
These
we're
are super hard.
super difficult questions about
Super difficult.
Zombies
Um,
4.
About Z4. It's very,
Oh.
very hard question.
I don't know much about Z4.
Wait, but there are also questions that we can actually answer because at this point we can't answer very many questions about this movie.
So you're just going to go for it.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
gonna-
We can't
So
get specific.
You're just gonna
you-
answer
these
it,
are
and we're gonna bleep it.
So
Okay.
difficult.
Right. Okay. I
So hard.
see. Okay.
First one. What is the name of Malachi's character?
Who wrote this question?
ChatGPT.
No, no.
Taryn,
She
no
just
cheating. Wow.
Oh no!
Wow.
No! Wow!
Yes, I
Wow!
love
Wow,
it.
Taryn! Wow!
Yes, the V. That's right. I love it.
I was
Okay.
like, Vern.
This is Victor.
All right.
Victor.
Chandler gets a full point. Taryn
Okay.
gets a half.
Yeah, half point. That was crazy. Crazy work
That was
on your
like
part.
devious work right there. That
I
was
love it.
devious work.
To be fair, she was there for like the last week of
100%. 100%.
Okay.
Okay, next
second
question.
Who's your favorite mom on Zombies 4? I'm just kidding. She's writing herself.
That's
Nice.
wild.
You're right, Felicia?
That's nuts.
She's got to show some, she's got to
That's
spread
for
the
you
love.
to write.
All right.
This was for me to write.
All right, here's the
Oh
legitimate
my
second
gosh.
question. This one's super hard. Chandler, I'm not sure if you're gonna get this one. Who are the OGs that are making a return in Z4?
Oh.
Character names.
Character
Okay, yeah, I
names.
was like, which, okay.
Character names. Each of them have to have a paragraph per each.
Ooh, I love the race
Wow.
right now between the two of
Willa
you.
is-
Wow,
Zed.
that was so fast.
Oh my gosh, she got it wrong.
Wait.
Oh my gosh, she got
Wait,
it
what did you
wrong.
write? What did you write? What did you write?
She misspelled a name.
Is that right?
Oh my gosh. Let me see.
Willa, Zed, Addison, and Liza? Is that wrong?
Oh my gosh, if you lock in right now, you could win.
Willa, Zed, Addison, and Eliza? Oh, yeah, okay.
You're good.
Eliza.
Eliza. She wrote Liza.
And Shrimpy.
I'm sorry. I went to
And Shrimpy.
And Shrimpy.
You
I
That's
forgot about
right.
I'm sorry. I was.
Which, by the way,
I
we
was
will just
sick.
talk about this for 2 seconds. Paul Hohen, the director of Zombies
Yes.
4 and the last Zombies, all the Zombies movies, fought for Shrimpy to be in this movie.
Yay,
he
Paul.
fought
Yay.
tooth and nail. He wrote a letter to Disney.
I did not know this.
No
Oh,
way.
yeah, because they felt like it might not make sense for him to be in it because he's the Seabrook mascot.
Yeah.
So for him to be at Mountain College was
Wouldn't make
That's
sense.
didn't
actually
really make
hilarious.
much sense.
Yeah.
But he felt very strongly about this. And so
Mm.
Shrimpy does make an appearance.
I
in
love
Zombies.
that.
for Paul.
Yes, Paul.
But that's only because of Paul. Yep.
nice. I love
love
that.
you,
I love
Paul.
that.
Love you, Paul.
All right, next question. What is your favorite song in Z4? We will bleep
We will
it out.
bleep it out. But we just let it know.
Favorite song?
Taryn, you don't have to answer this. You probably don't know all the songs yet.
I don't know them by name.
Just sing it.
I don't know them by
Melody.
I don't know them at all.
Chandler, you can just say it. You don't have to write it.
Oh, really?
And we'll bleep it. Yeah, we'll bleep it
Oh,
out.
I was.
Ah.
Oh.
And the last question we have: if you had to be Team Daywalker, or Team Vampire, which one are you choosing?
What are you writing? No. Period.
Hello.
Mama T.
Vampire.
Yeah,
Team
we should
Vampire.
You guys are all. It's this is like asking.
Okay, but
someone
okay, as
to pick
Willa-
their favorite child.
Here, as
And
Willa,
you guys
do
are
it this
all
way.
my favorite.
My favorite child?
No.
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 Wait, as
No, no, no,
Willow,
no, no.
as
No.
Willow, think wolf pack. Like,
Yeah,
who would the
Willa-
wolf pack be a part?
I want your honest answer.
So
Yeah, totally.
Willa and the vampires are
We're tight,
You know,
obviously.
Chandler
tight,
We got the
fangs, we got-
obviously Chandler and all of her children are.
You better pick.
That's hilarious.
I
She
love
can't pick.
all of you.
She can't pick.
Yeah.
When earlier in the podcast, you guys actually started talking about the different hats that you wear.
Right.
And I thought that was so funny because we talk about that a lot.
Yeah.
Like the
It's kind of
different
a big like a staple of like
it-
our.
like what we've been talking about with momager and everything
Mhm.
is like as a mom, you put on
Yeah.
even just as a mom, period, you wear a
Chef.
lot of different hats.
chef, driver,
attorney,
therapist.
therapist, you know,
Taryn, what's been-
doctor. Yeah.
Taryn,
Yeah.
What's been just like from my like son's perspective? What's been your favorite hat that you've had to put on for Chandler?
Ooh, my favorite hat.
Mm-hmm.
Cheerleader. I think it's my favorite hat.
I love that.
Sweet.
I love that.
That's
You
nice.
just made Chandler's life.
I love that. What do
I thought
you?
it was gonna be like critic.
Accountability holder.
Okay,
Accountability
tell me more
holder.
about that.
Let's unpack that. No.
Discipliner.
Now she's wanting her therapist out.
Let's dive into that.
Wait, so
No,
what's
that's
been
really
your
sweet.
favorite hat that she's had to wear?
Oh, yeah, friend,
Oh,
best friend.
Best friend.
Yeah, no, I just like Kiki and with you. I like just our chats. We laugh a lot.
Yeah.
we have like basically. We have like sleepover vibes. Like I'll just like come and like we'll
Yeah.
talk until 2 a.m. Then we're like, oh, we need to go to bed.
Yeah.
You know, and that's I think my favorite.
One
Yeah.
thing I miss that we don't really, it wasn't the best life, but it was the best life because
Mm.
she grew up in the car, right? Because we're coming from way outside of
Yes.
the city
Mhm.
into the
Yeah.
city. So like 60
Everything's
miles
just
one way
self-tapes
every
now,
day,
yeah.
right? Or more. But the conversations we had in the car, we covered everything in those hours.
agree.
Yeah.
You know, and so now she's an adult, right? So we
Yeah.
hop in the car together. She's like, I'll drive. And I'm like, no,
Mhm.
I'll drive because then you'll relax and it'll be like the old days and we'll chat and all that.
Yeah.
So because you don't have to focus on the road.
Yeah.
Okay, I know we need to wrap this
Yeah.
up. No. I know we
That
need to
was
wrap
so
it up
funny.
because you've
No,
got things
we're
to do,
cooking.
and so I just really I just wanted you to mention those things that we read in that article, Lauren, about the ways to rest, and we'll close this up because I think you got to go run and do some like ADR for zombies or something.
I do. I
right?
do have a little ADR for zombies.
So, Lauren, will you just mention those ways for rest? Because I feel like it's a good way to wrap this up today. Just all of the things that we've talked about and like a good reminder for ourselves. We were talking about this earlier too, about giving our bodies grace, giving our, you like, no matter what project you're doing, whether it's Dancing with the Stars and you're literally putting your physical body through, you know, the hardest thing it's ever gone through, competing against Olympians, right? Or it's, you know, putting yourself through a 3-month shoot in New Zealand without your mom the whole time, you know, all of those different things. But there are ways for us to kind of find rest and to and put that into practice in our lives. Lauren, what were those ways?
This comes from mindfulhealthsolutions.com, and it's referencing a book by Dr. Sandra Dalton Smith, and she talks about 7 types of rest: physical, mental, emotional, sensory, it's an interesting one, creative rest, social rest, and even spiritual rest.
What are the ways that you can like in each of those different
so
categories?
quick
What does she say?
examples. So like physical rest, that can be stretching, taking a nap, getting a massage,
Naps.
taking short breaks, going for
IV
a walk.
drips.
Mental rest could look like turning off your phone, avoiding social media. Malachi, you've talked about times of rest for you that have been really important there. Practicing meditation. Emotional
Taryn lives
rest.
with hers on airplane mode.
There you go.
No
And
screen.
Emotional rest, Felicia, I think you're really good at this. Spending time alone, avoiding stressful situations,
I hide in my bathroom.
right?
There you go.
Talking to a trusted friend.
Yeah.
Chandler, you hit on that earlier.
Yeah.
Practicing self-care, journaling, or spending time in nature. Then we get into sensory rest. You can turn off the TV, close your eyes, spend time in a quiet room, take a bath,
I'm actually big on sensory rest. Actually.
Are you?
Yeah. It was funny that you mentioned, like, I was happy to hear that because specifically with Dancing with the Stars, and you can speak to this because you saw me on show days every morning. I was so incredibly overstimulated. Yeah. I'm a very like sensory person. I'm very like tactile and like, you know, like I'm fine, but also like I just take in a lot. And so for me, at the end of the day, like I would need to be like in a quiet room, like low lights. Yep. My soft, cozy blanket was a big one. So big on sensory.
On my way home from dancing or American Idol, I sit in silence the whole way home.
Yes.
I need to turn it all off.
Yeah. Usually I'm a big music person. And I noticed during that time, I was like, silent car rides.
No, that's big for me too. Yeah.
And that ties right into creative rest, taking a break from your work.
Yeah.
And we talked about this earlier, you know, not letting the workday just extend 24/7, pursuing a hobby or engaging in a creative activity that
like
you
you
enjoy.
were saying, needing something else during the season, like that you're not just fully diving into, that'll help you give yourself a mental break.
Right. Totally.
Right. Yeah,
so just a couple more here on social rest. Examples are spending time alone, avoiding social situations, if you're overtaxed there, spending time with only close friends and family, maybe having a solo picnic, a hike, or a lunch.
Solo picnic.
And the last one here, which is actually my favorite, is spiritual rest. And I found this interesting because the authors here said, when we rest spiritually, we give ourselves time to connect with our inner selves and be reassured of meaning in our lives, which helps us to stay grounded and fulfilled in the work we're doing. Examples could be meditating, praying, engaging in a spiritual practice that you enjoy, spending time in nature. That works for me.
For
Man, my favorite place is surfing out in the middle of the ocean where everything's untouched. I just, you know, I feel close to God. I feel at rest. I feel at peace. And then the last one, this is interesting, volunteering for a cause you care about.
I love that.
Which it could be, it's almost counterintuitive, right? Like I'm tired, I'm beat down, exhausted. So why would I go do something for someone else? But in fact, when we give ourselves away like that, it recharges our batteries in a really beautiful way.
Love that.
It is a great way to recharge. Yeah. And it's not obvious, you know, you feel like I have nothing. So like, what can I give?
Right.
But it is, it's a beautiful little magic to that. Yeah.
And I think in all of that, I hear like rest is available to us, but it is something that we have to actively take part in.
Yes.
You know, and care for ourselves. So.
Yeah. I love
100%.
that. Thank you for sharing that. Because I needed to hear that.
Wisdom corner over here.
I know. We're calling it Wisdom Corner. Lauren coming in with
love that.
Thank you guys for being in our lives. Thank you for being on MOMager. We really, and for taking us behind the scenes of your Hollywood family life.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
For the viewers and the listeners, I feel really cool when I say this. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and turn on the post notifications. And we will see you next time on MOMager, a Barton fan podcast.
Love you guys.
It's that MOMager life. We take it day by day.
Yay!
Good job, guys.